Hello world, this is JWP, JWP Primo Beats, coming to you live from my bedroom. Check out my website, jwpsite.com, for my social links, latest news and updates, and public offerings. If you'd like to help support what I do, check out my Patreon, JWP Patreon. That's with 2 P's. There's exclusive content there for making your own audio plugins and synth edits. Or my GoFundMe, JWP Fund. If you're watching this on YouTube, a like, comment, and or subscribe are appreciated. So I'll be continuing along remixing, remastering some of my older beats in FL Studio. And last I left off, I was beginning to dive into the patcher preset. However, one of the main barriers for this was it is heavy. Like there's no way to disable inputs, to disable things, which is kind of disappointing. I don't think that the disconnect. I don't know what that's gonna do. See if we go add a new patcher and another patcher. Connect the two. I don't think that's just gonna pull the connection, right? Deactivate, and then it just makes it disappear, I think. Yeah. There's no real way to sort of pause the whole module. Not sure if unplugging or turning down the volume would work. However, sort of the same problem is plugging and unplugging. So what if there's nothing coming into patcher? What does it do? Of course, there's no way to tell that. So maybe let's just see. I load the patcher preset over here. Then isotope tools. Okay, so it's going to take a second to start all its things. And then I'm just going to pull sort of well, there's nothing plugged into it, right? Oh, it looks like there is. Okay, so it just shows them. It just shows them in their names. It's not going to work. Plus, it's kind of more of a workaround. What if I just turn off everything else except for one at a time? Let's see what that does. It's going to run. Still totally toast. So it must still be running them internally. So perhaps this idea isn't going to work as much as I'd like it to work. Just because they're so greedy. And there's no way to like stop processing. View, link velocity, multi-thread plugins. Performance. Okay, 215. Total 71%. Patch modules. Other. Because I mean, it's a good idea. I just not bring. I can't see the top of that. There's no way to just say, pause or something. Disconnect. Let's see what disconnect does. Yeah, that's what I thought. It looks like I lost my relay too. Okay, so let's see what that does when it's disconnected. Of course, I can't see it. It's still running something. Not much in there. It's another patcher. So it must still be running Neutron. Even though there's nothing plugged into it. interesting how it just disconnects and it just pulls all the plugs. Apparently it's still running. You can't hear the output. I know that you can't because I'm usually running my speakers and there's nothing really to listen to besides jittery. Oh, here we go. Not disable, but there's no way to like disable from here. Inputs. Still running. Still running. Oops. No, I don't think it's a thing. I can turn these off, but I don't think they do anything. Right? What's this? Yeah, no, it doesn't do anything either. So with standing up by itself, like I can't even turn the volume down on it, which I was thinking might, you know, going like this. Even that doesn't work. With a right click does kills it, but it's still running. Like here, outputs maybe. Nothing. Can't just right click it. No. The only thing that will stop it is deleting it. Yeah, we're down to 4%. You think Smart Disable would override it? All right. But it just stays awake. And I'm sure Smart Disable was on. Let's go ahead and reload that because I killed that patch. I really want this to work. There's no other way I can do it, really, I don't think. Individual pieces, and then I can just turn them off. But that doesn't give me a lot of space to work in. So let's say show CPU again. View performance. Bet it wasn't anything I could do with the CPU button up there. Let's take a look if there's anything inside the manual here. Space processing modules added to the same number of nodes after FL Studio node processed at the same time. Preset stuff, minimap. Data links, filters. Working with links. Events, saving and loading presets tabs. Map. Right click. The measurements are based on FL Studio metrics. Control surface. Checking MIDI, creating interfaces. That's it. So nothing about sort of sleeping or smart disabling plugins. It's just not a thing in Studio. All right, Patcher. So let's try again here. I mean, there's got to be a way. Just click this and open, and then Smart Disable is on. Right. Process inactive inputs and outputs. Try that again. Still running at 24. That didn't help. What about on the plugin itself? I mean, I could turn everything off. Right. Did it just drop a pin? I don't know what happened there. Okay. So now how's it running? It's better. Still running at like 9%. Plus, it's a bit tedious to have to come in here and turn them all off and on. I just don't think it's possible. Like, the ideal situation would just be to disable the whole patcher. $66. Be great to just be able to throw it in and then everything's all linked up, right? And I have the surface here. No opening and closing of windows, taking forever. So the only other alternative I could really think of is to pull all of the neutrons out. Like this. And then, yeah, no. Patcher's just disappointing every time I, turn a corner with Patcher. It's just like, there's a brick wall. Sorry. And I'm so done with ImageLine and FL Studio that I'm not even going to be like, can you integrate, what is this even called? Mute solo into Patcher, for individual patchers. Patcher sessions or even just modules themselves. I mean, there's this, right? But right click it and it turns off, but it doesn't actually stop the down chain. I'm going on the output. Is this already off? Nothing. So disappointing. It is. Okay, so much for that. And like I said, I could break it down into more smaller pieces. However, that's not really opportune. And I can't exactly insert rack into Patcher and then just solo and mute things. So that's garbage then. And it looks like things are just going to have to happen here-ish. So guitar out. Might as well get all the patchers in. I'll just replace this decibel meter here, or patcher neutrons. Okay, so let's head over here. Plugins. VST3 effect, right? Okay. Effect, and I need a new folder here. So I'm going to go open, and we're going to call this folder suites. That's how it's spelled. Then I'm going to bring in neutron here somewhere. And to the bass drum, replace this decibel meter. And then I'm going to insert it into the suites here. We're just going to click on suites. Or I'm just going to click on suites and we'll say add to database. Yes. Okay, so now neutron is in there. It's in here. It's going to take up the same amount of CPU, but at least I could turn off things. So now replace suites somewhere. Can I sketch presets? Isn't there? Tree display. Okay. And then replace. category, simple tree. What did I turn into tree display? There we go. Sweets, neutron 3. Okay. So is there subcategories in that? Like I go, there is. Weird. I guess that is pretty clean. I mean, simple is a little more expanded. Feels like it's faster to get to things. However, this is interesting. Okay, so continuing down the line here, it's actually just going to turn these off. I'm not sure what this is here for. It's in demo mode too. Okay, replace. This is sweet neutron. Yeah, that really sucks that didn't work out. And more sweet neutron. That's pretty much all there is really, except there's like all that global wiring. I have to jump into things to control things. I could bring the dashboard forward or the control surface, but then I'd have to relink everything. That was the advantage of having everything in one patch or preset. Everything was linked and ready to go, and all I had to do was turn it on, and yeah. But no, I can't stop processing for anything. So all the processors are constantly running. And yeah, my computer can't handle that. Even with maximum buffer and triple buffering. It's too much. Too much. Sweets. Neutron. Place sweets. Neutron. And last one. Oh, I don't think I've been turning them off. So let's go through and turn them off. So it looks like I'm going to have to do all my own wiring. Maybe I can at least make a wiring preset for bass and stuff. Bass cuts. Oh, what's faster, I wonder. I just load it up and it's ready to go sort of thing, but then I got to do it for individuals. I guess it's just faster like this. Okay, so I'm going to get things moving around here. Bass and what does it sound like now? It holds together now. I guess I could put that on my iLouds. Arc in there? Is Arc in there already? Yes. Need more fit, side span, Maximus, subtester, compressor. Okay. What's this? This is my mid-side thing. So I'm probably going to want to do that. Actually, no, I won't want to do that for bass drum because that's just for curing the rhythm or any low-range instruments that jump into the sub, right? So what am I on to next here? Pretty much just cuts, right? So we'll start with the bass drum. We'll say this. Bass drum, what do we call this? Dynamic EQ? Dynamic EQ. Of course, it's just small. And then we'll send the bass drum here. We'll take it over there. No, take this out here. And then, where's the bass drum again? I can't remember. I should probably flip this to display its, what you call it, to. Oh, we could just look at it, right? Let's see where it's at. Let's go filter. EQ, PEQ. Okay, so it's down here somewhere. Looking like E? Wasn't it E minor or A minor? E minor, right? E minor root E. Okay. So that's set to E. Well, I still have to make a control surface for. Still have to make a control surface for the splits and stuff for the base splits. I'll just start that now. Knob, default knob, grid by 20. And we'll call this BD width. And then there's what BD. Just copy this duplicate, right? BD slope. Didn't even copy the name. Slopes on top. Up. Okay. Then this. Just going to hug that sort of thing. Right click, link to controller. This is BD slope. Okay. And BD width. So link to controller. BD width. Okay, so let's tighten up the width here. Okay, right, that's B. Yup. Okay. As well, I was considering like having a key changer. But that was only for the patcher preset if I got it to work, which it didn't because it just overloads. So that's a old idea now. Now I want peak controller here. And then these are... I also do volume, I guess. Am I supposed to do volume? I didn't before. I did decay and... Should I do tension? I don't really know what tension is. Isn't it just a multiplier? Sort of is a multiplier, right? Okay, so at least decay for sure. Let's look what I did last time here. Start a new one, otherwise it'll open up over top of this one, and then we're just gonna... Well, I was gonna jump into base, but that was pretty fast. So I'm looking for a triplet here. I'm not seeing it more. Triplet linear. So wait for that to load. While that's loading, I can start on base here. So let's call this base. Just put the NY EQ. Does that fit in the... Not really. Just dynamic. Okay, so then we'll move it over. And this one's a bit different. It's loaded. Still finding samples. Okay. Then we got all these toms. They all need their dynamic EQ2 as well. So tom 1 dynamic. Copy that. Just replace this number. See if I can move them over at one time, sort of thing. Becoming more of a hassle just to try to get some time savings than it is to actually do things the long way. Yeah, no, it would have been faster just to do it the long way. So let's do that way faster. Okay. These all go to those. I need to find the roots for those. Can't find morphit. That's fine. Okay, so where is my control surface here? I had just decay. For some reason, I wanted drive. Maybe drive 2. Interesting how there's only one. Perhaps when I circle back around to that one, I'll do 4. For now, let's go here. So we're going to do drive. What's it called? Volume? Okay, so knob, default, BD, volume, and another one, knob, default, BD to K. Okay, so now volume is here. So we can link that. This is BD volume. Okay, and this is BD K. Oops. So let's lock this now. Okay. Okay. Slope, of course, that doesn't matter here. Width, again, doesn't matter here. Let's look at this one. It's super tight now. Loosen that up a bit. Okay, so that's done for its initial part. And that doesn't move. Of course, I leave the snare drum alone, but let's send it onto the bass here. We'll make it post, right? Because we don't want to mess with the compressors. What am I doing here? This is just a bass drum, right? So it's just a single parametric EQ here, and then this is at. Actually, I'll just copy it over, right? Best idea. Then we'll go ahead and link these. Link to controller, BD slope, and BD width. And that is not a bandpass, that is a notch. Okay. And then this also needs a different kind of peak or a different kind of volume, I think. There's almost two volumes, right? We'll call it cut. Let's get in here or somewhere. No, this is peak, right? So there's a drive volume and then there's a peak volume. So this has to be peak, not volume. This is peak. Okay. Oh, get a little more comfortable here. Okay, so that's done with the bass. Now the guitar here. Of course, this comes out in post. Toss this over. And same thing. Do some linking. Link the controller. Slope. Width. And this is volume. Peak. Oops. Okay, and then Tom, of course, in post. Let's grab this. I'll just toss these on across here. So it's up there. So the toms going to cut each other, I wonder? It's a lot of cross cutting. Let's look at them. I want to see how they move around. And shaker's fine. We'll just let that stuff float. Close all windows here, and then we're going to look at the toms. Can I turn on more than one at a time? No, it's not a thing. All right, so toms won't cut each other, but toms will cut bass. So this is going to need a lot more slots here. I have to make a bass send. All right, so let's call this bass send. Toms will cut bass and guitar, but not bass drum. But bass drum will cut toms. Okay, this goes here. Of course, this also has to come here and this there. Let's finish up with the tom connections here. The controller, this is slope and width. Look at the width. I'll be testing these two as I go along. Seems feels a little far. It's like right in my face. Okay, that's fine. My monitor's not running. The whole time I could have just been streaming my intro screen and not even have noticed. But I do have that monitor running, so okay. Testing. So we'll start from the left here. So make sure that these are responding. That's not a thing. That's not running. Slope's not running. That's not a thing. So I didn't connect these. BD, what is it? Slope. And BD width. Okay, so width. Yeah. Slope. Yeah. Okay, can I do the volume now? I think so, yeah. The controller, this is peak. It just stays there. Set. Okay. What's up with volume though? Volume's not doing anything. It's maxed out. It's not being controlled. Okay, so volume. Okay, so that's why there's tension too, I guess. Should I make like a boost? A booster in here? Like that? Or should I just use tension? Tension doesn't do a lot, yeah. Maybe I will in fact just use a boost. That's a lot of controls, man. Okay, so knob default. Let's close this. This over. It's auto saving. Okay. Rename. This is BD boost. Inputs maybe. BD inputs. Okay. Jump on this. Right click that. Link to controller. This is oops. BD inputs. I wonder if there's a way to properties minimum value 0. Okay. BD input properties maximum value. What is half of that? 65536. Okay, so it doesn't even responding. 65536 divided by 2 is 3278. Okay. So what happens if I change this to here? Okay, and then pause that. We still seem to get the full range here. Right, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. So that doesn't do anything as far as relating to local value. Okay. Big ruler step, small ruler step. The only way I can really see it happening is if I link it like last half, right? Like this or something. Last half. All right, and then it's a bit more sensitive, right? What is this ruler steps? Is it just like one? That's too much to fiddle with. Like I have to do this every time. Four. That's four big ruler steps, but I only see one. Like it doesn't snap anywhere. Snaps the default value, I guess, which isn't really a thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull it and put it back in because that's just too much fiddling. So knob, default, BD input. Okay. And then I have to relink this here, like the controller, BD inputs. Okay. No, don't remove conflicts. Where'd the default step go now? Oh, it's 0 now. Okay, let's check that again. I gotta turn it up, right? I gotta turn it up. Okay, so it's there-ish. Looking at the base. If I put in tension, that's just too many things, and it didn't really do a lot for it. So let's crank it. Okay. Can't hear it. Not muted. Okay, it's not outputting, that's fine. Send. Oh, I sent to the wrong. I sent it to the guitar. Okay. So continuing down the line here, we're on to guitar, but the output's here. And we're just going to test. Let's close everything so I don't accidentally trigger or change something in the background. Let's bring in this control surface, give it some less space. Onto the guitar, but guitar out. And then we just want to see that everything's running. So slope, no. Width, no. Okay, so I didn't connect anything. It's probably because I had, turned on. Remove conflicts. So every time I linked something new, it just undid the previous one. Width. Okay, and drive and input are the thing here. Let's go tight or loose. Width. Input is not a thing. Volume and decay are not things. Let's look at the drive here. It's probably fine. Peak. What does that look like? Oop. Okay, so everything's pretty much gone down there anyway. Let's go mid, side. Okay. So it's cutting the side at least. Into the toms now. Let's go link controller. This is slope. This is width. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I should be looking at okay, so that's connected. I should be looking at stereoization. I'll finish this up and then I'll jump on stereoization. Do toms later. So this is slope. This is width. Or since I'm on a roll, I might as well just do the columns now. Okay. Then link. Slope. And width. Okay. Oh, I didn't even check it. So let's check it. Width. Continuing down the line here. Column 4. This is slope. And width. Checking. Okay, so that's done now. And I said I was going to continue on to the toms. However, let's do bass first, right? And for this is a patcher MIDI EQ from Uline. That as well. I need to copy the bass pattern through, so I'm going to insert we'll put it on top. Insert a MIDI out. I'm just going to copy this over. We're going to go channel 4. And port 0. And let's go outputs events. MIDI port 4 instead. And then we'll get rid of port 0. And call this port 4. Channel 1. Should be responding now. Nothing. Maybe because I have to restart it, right? How does it determine its MIDI input number? Connect MIDI here. What's this? Voice MIDI inputs? Okay, maybe I do need port 0. Port 0 here. Outputs, events. I'm not gonna be too picky about it. It was working before. Let's just get it working again. Still nothing. Oh, it's moving now. Okay. But as usual, I think it's too high, right? So that's same note over and over. Okay, that's fine. And this is a band pass. And from there, it looks like I need to bring in the bass controls. So let's go ahead and add a knob. Bass slope. And continuing to add knobs. Bass width. Then bass inputs. Yeah, that really sucks about the patcher. I mean, it would have saved me years of work. I'm just gonna have to speed through things, I think. I kind of am speeding through things because I'm ignoring, like, really putting things under the microscope and just letting Neutron take over and what's it called? Yeah, bass decay. Toked by Vox angle. Okay, my balancing act piece. Bass volume. Okay. So now let's go here, activate link to controller. This is bass slope. Activate. Link to controller, base width. Okay, let's get it. It's running. Width. Input's not a thing. Actually, it is. Let's activate this and link that to inputs. Base input. Okay. And that should be working now. Base volume. Okay, so this is the peak controller settings. So let's go controller, peak controller, and now we want volume here. Base volume, okay, and base decay. Okay, and then the volumes thing, decay, it's a thing. The input, we're going to turn this up a bit here. Tension. Maybe I should keep tension. This is pretty much the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as volume. Okay, need more volume. Oh, it's already maxed out. Input. That's what I'm looking for. Let's max that. Maybe a little too much. Is this outputting or something? Yeah, I don't want that outputting. Oh, this is the wrong spot. Okay, so let's move this over. And this doesn't output. This outputs. This is now base dynamic EQ. And then this is base and output. Base has neutron already. Why do I have a secondary output? Because of all the toms, I guess. Maybe it'd be better to move this over to that one, the output here. I'm gonna get that linked up now. So links to controllers, BD slope, BD width, and BD inputs. No, not a thing. I gotta test that. Let's pull it from here first. Delete. Okay. And unlink this. Reset. Okay. Turn it on. Turn it up. Oh, not that one. This needs to be linked to the peak. Okay. And we're just going to look at this to make sure that's running. Width. Slope. Yeah, okay. That's running. Okay, so now this guitar requires a patcher preset, which is the MIDI EQ here. Okay, and that's running already. Not at all. It's not running at all. I don't know why. Yeah, no, it's, oh, there it is. Okay, so notch that and activate. This is it's controller base slope and base width. Just do a little wiggle. Okay, and then we need a driver for that. This is base peak. These would actually play okay together, right? as the guitar is only sitting in the side signal. Oh. So they're not actually bumping into each other, I don't think. Because all it's getting is this. That's not true though, because the bass drum and stuff are still going to the mid signal. Or, yeah. They're still in the mid signal. It's not 100% side as far as I'm aware, right? I don't know how to solo side. Let's use a patcher, controller patcher. And let's see if I can find anything. Special filter. Let's go mid side. And then we're just going to look at mid. The bass is still in the side. That's what I'm thinking. It's not? Bass doesn't exist in the side. I can hear it, but I can't get any bass out of it. Why is there no bass in the side? So there's no real point in cutting the guitar if bass doesn't exist in the side. Why it doesn't exist in the side? It has no stereo signal. I guess we don't really want it to. Well, if there's no bass in the side, then it shouldn't matter if it's being cut. And even still, if the sub and the monitors are sitting beside each other, we don't want to overpower the sub with the monitors. So let's leave it cutting. Okay, so this is running. Toms are already all hooked up as far as their kick drums, but it doesn't look like they got their peaks here. So let's get them their peaks. Peak. This is peak. This is peak. Did I connect that to bass? I did. I connected this to bass too. Okay. All Right, so let's get the toms happening as far as their sends. I actually got to cut their base first too, so that's enough room. Don't really need to make a new send. Plus compressor is gonna go, so let's get the base cutting. Tom's cutting base. Right? Base don't cut toms, because then it would just be pointless. So Tom's cut base. So there's no point in a send here. Let me pull out these first before I start linking them. Okay. Then start linking them. Okay, now in here, I gotta figure out their fundamental. Okay, so let's look at shifter here. A1. Frequency key A1. Actually, as well, I gotta do the stereo. I keep thinking about the stereo. Looks like there's two here. I think there's two, 11, 13, 14, 15. What's going on there? No, looks like... Anyway, okay, so A... And... Am I linking them all together or separately? Or... Probably all together. Maybe that's why I chose the bass drum on triplet to be all together, just so there's more of a quick control. Yeah, for now. That's probably what I said. Plus, it's just supposed to be a quick mix, right? So BD slope, tom slope rather, and then tom width. Tom input. Tom bass, or volume rather. And tom decay. Okay, so tom slope is here. Okay, tom width. Okay, and we're just going to test them. Okay, and of course input here, link. Tom input, okay. So more inputs. Now we want to look at... I'm gonna have to do that every time. We're gonna have to look... Now we want to look at peak controller here. And we're gonna link volume. Link tom volume. Link tom decay. Okay, so this is kind of going round and round for me. I'm gonna pause that for a bit. And this is volume, maximum-ish decay, medium for now, and then let's check it out again. Volume's max. Let's go input here. It's not a whole lot, is it? We'll just max out the tension here. Here. Okay. Now we're gonna just grab this whole thing. So track state as, and of course we're gonna have to rename this Tom2 dynamic EQ. And this is a different note. What note is this? This is D2. Oops. Key D and 2. Wherever it'll play. I'll figure out where it plays here. So we'll build there. Pattern. Turn this off for a second just to make sure that's where it's sitting. Did it? It unlooped itself. It's like about right, 69-ish. 73. Close enough. Okay. Then is this stuff already linked? Let's turn this off. Back to some. This is Tom slope. Tom width. Okay, Tom input. And then want the peak controller here. Okay, Tom volume. Tension is max. Link. It's Tom decay. Let's bring that up. A little heavy. Let's bring it down a little bit on the tension. Kind of get like a happy medium between them. Maybe 30, 33. That's not what I want to see. I want to see the controller. A little more, maybe 50. A little more, 66. Okay. That's pretty much maximum drive, right? Now let's test these controls. So BD decay, BD volume. I can't see the volume. Okay, BD inputs max with the slope. Yeah, okay. It's running there. Tom 3. I'm just gonna copy this over again. Save as 3. I'm gonna close everything, and then we're gonna find 3 here. Loop that. So when I close the window, it stops the loop. Okay, and then PQ. So I need to find the center here. Looks like 72. Is it the same thing as the other one? Okay, so there's an A. I feel like it's a good idea to write that sort of thing down. Or at least put it in the thing. Like on D sharp or something. Man. C sharp, D. D. It's D. So D. Frequency. I gotta turn it on first. Key D2. What was the other one? Are they just that close together? 73. D2. Why is this the same thing then? I really have to go back to figuring this out. Okay. Not that. Did it really burn that? I guess it did, eh? I want the originals here. D, D, D. C, A, C, D. Okay, so what are you? You're the A. So then you must be the C. Why are you with D? Yeah, they're the same note, eh? They sure sound like the same note. Let's turn off this low one here. They change. Okay, so that's a C. This is a D. Alright, so why is this a D? Oh, it says C. It's just that it shifted from D. Okay, so this tom needs to be changed to C. Key C2. I knew it looked a little funny. Okay, so this is D2. Key D2. We can stop this, bring the song back. Link to tom slope. Okay, tom width. Okay, and did I rename this? No, I didn't. Okay, so let's rename this 3. Let's go 3, yeah, but we'll also put like the note in there. Tom, what is this? D2? Tom 3, D2. Tom 1. So this is Tom A1. Tom A1A. This one's Tom C2. C2, 2. Tom D2. 3. And what's this one? An E, right? Or something? High E. E4. Probably E3. E3. D2. Why is it a D again? So let's push it up. Okay. It doesn't even look like it has its EQs, but whatever. Okay, so let's get these linked, right? I already did this one. And this one, I'm onto the controller now, which is link to controller, tom volume. Did I do inputs? No, I didn't. Tom inputs. And tom decay here. Okay, so let's do some testing, make sure it's running as expected. Let's look at the pattern again. Let's just use this. 3 we're looking at. A little heavy. Let's come down to 50. Okay, and then we'll look at some of the controls here. Slope. width, input's not running, link, inputs, volume, that's here, and decay. Okay. Then there's no peak there. It's gonna copy this over for 4 now. File save state as this is here. We're gonna rename that. This is an E2, Tom 4, E2. Okay, so this is all running. Jump on here. And yeah. Let's get this stuff linked in. Link the controller. I'm not putting the song back. If ever it lets me. Link Tom slope. Link Tom width. Tom inputs. Okay, into the peak controller. This is Tom volume. Tom decay. And let's find a point where it's playing. Actually, I think it's just this pattern, right? This is the last Tom. Doesn't show up here. Tom 4, there's 4. Okay, I can close this now. It's probably just eating up CPU. Max tension, that's still a little loose. No way to drive anymore. Pretty much at its most. It's gonna give. Okay, so there's nothing I can do about that. I mean, I could put another EQ into it, I guess. And just give it like a 3 or 6. Filter EQ, PEQ 6, 4.5. 4.5. I think 3 would be too loose, whereas everything's sort of driven right now. Okay, so let's do some testing here. Slope, yep. Width, yep. Input, yeah. Volume, yeah. Decay, yeah. Okay, so toms are ready to be integrated, and they are going to bass and guitar. So let's grab this first one here. I'm gonna go save as bass output here, and then I gotta link that, eh? So this is toms, right? It's toms slope, yeah, and toms width. Toms. Okay, and this is a notch. Reset that. This is a notch. And yeah, okay. Then I gotta bring in the driver here. This is Tom's. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them, eh? There's not just one. That's fine, I suppose. Peak, because we want the decays. So no, we want something like this. Let's see it. A little heavy. It's fine though. Tom 2. And then we're gonna grab this, drop it, bass output, reset this. This is a notch. And then we want Tom slope. I want Tom slope. I gotta start remembering to take the first person. I gotta remember all the time to take the first person. Okay, so we're just gonna check. Everything's fine. Let's check this. Tom slope, yeah. Width, yeah. Open it up a little bit. Input isn't a thing. Volume and decay aren't a thing. However, this is. So link and Tom peak somewhere. Tom 2 peak. Okay. Okay, and then time for tom 3, which is here. Save preset as, and drop that on the bass output. Same thing, reset. This is a notch. This is tom slope. Slope, okay, and tom width. Link, tom width, okay. Slope, width, input no, volume decay, none of that other stuff. I'm just gonna link this up. Link tom 3 peak. Okay, and time for 4 now. 4 does not have a supporting piece. Did I set this? I don't think I set this. What is this supposed to be? This is supposed to be, I do believe, an E2. Yeah. Just one little tiny move. Okay, and this is already linked, right? Yes, this is linked. I'm sure I checked everything. Okay, close that. Grab this and throw it on the bass output, and then we find something in the patterns. There's 4 here. Okay, then we gotta reset stuff. This is a notch. This is tom slope and tom bandwidth, tom width. And then the drive, the controller. This is tom 4 peak. Okay. Yeah. All right. Again, is this linear phase? It is, right? I should be turning on the new phase on everything. So let's go ahead and do that and just overload the computer. Okay, close everything. As well, I gotta do that for the bass drum stuff. So here's the output, linear phase, bass output, peak here, linear phase. And then where did I send the bass? Just the guitar? Okay, linear phase, that's the bass drum, and then here's the bass guitar. Okay. So, are these set up as that? No way. Let's get these running like that too. Four. Okay. Now, basic Q output's done. Outputs. Okay, and linear phase is on all those. I'm gonna give it a quick save. And I gotta call it here. So I'm gonna make a note for myself. Somewhere it'll let me. Saving, I saw it. I saved and then it auto saved. Okay, so project info. Let's get no seconds 2023. Implement low cuts, dynamic low cuts. Implement. Did that just change size? Dynamic low cuts into guitar. Stereo eyes. Okay. And I can just close that. I'm going to save again anyway. Yeah, it's might as well save now. NVIDIA Studio driver is available. Thanks, NVIDIA. Okay, so everything's on. Let's give it a listen. Let's see how. Bass. Feels like a bit more punch, I guess. Cleaner. Let's look at the bass outputs. Let's go to the master here. This is really loud. Fix this low. Is it right? Yeah, there's a bit more woomph in there, more pump. Anyway, so I gotta call it for today. Check my website, JWPsite.com, for my social links, latest news and updates, and public offerings. If you'd like to help support what I do, check out my Patreon, JWP Patreon. That's with 2 P's. There's exclusive content there for making your own audio plugins and synth edit, or my GoFundMe, JWP Fund. If you're watching this on YouTube, a like, comment, and or subscribe are appreciated. Thanks for watching. Until next time.